Let's talk about my client, Jessica. So, when she came in, first of all, she owns a social media management agency. So, when she came in, she was bringing home about $4,000 a month in profit for herself. Now, she was so incredibly burned out. She had hired on, at that point, I believe, 2 employees to do day-to-day tasks, management of some of the client content, more of the everyday carryout. She was drowning in micromanaging tasks. By the time she got to me, I remember her telling me she was ready to burn her business to the ground. She was so frustrated with the amount of time that she was putting into this business to only take home about $4,000 a month. She knew she was good at sales. She was still at her 9 to 5. She did sales for her 9 to 5. She knew she had potential, but she just could not get this business past this plateau because of the time that she was putting into her offers, how landlocked she was with her prices, and how much time she was having to spend managing the day-to-day for her employees. In fact, when she first started with me, she was actually brainstorming brand new business ideas, going into a completely different niche for social media management because she felt like there was no way out of how stuck she was in this business. So when we did her full business audit, the very first thing that I noticed was she had the bare minimum when it came to systems and automations, not just for her clients, but for her employees as well. She had no processes in place for the employees to carry out. So therefore, no one really knew what the expectations were. Clients didn't know what the expectations were. Employees didn't know what the expectations were. So she was having to spend all of her time not just checking to make sure that things were done, but actually redoing a lot of the things that her employees were supposed to be doing. She had gotten in this cycle of, yes, she maybe wasn't carrying out the tasks anymore, but she was actually spending more time reviewing, critiquing, emailing back and forth, texting back and forth, when it would probably have just been quicker to do it herself. So the very first thing we did was a complete overhaul of all of her processes, all of her systems, how she was accepting payments so she wouldn't have to chase down client payments anymore, setting expectations and processes in place for her employees so they knew what the expectations were, and there was a very clear path of how things got done, when things got done, and when they were submitted. Now, one of the things that we did for her that was fairly unique was, again, she was already brainstorming where she wanted to go, what she wanted to do. She wanted multiple businesses in the long run. She had a huge vision. So what she wanted was something that we could put into place in this current business so it would run almost completely automatically, hands off from her as much as possible, obviously, but could also be replicated to different niches within the same business structure as a social media manager. By the time we were done working together, she was getting paid on time. She wasn't having to chase down payments, invoices. It was all automatic. Her onboarding system was automatic. Employee tasks were automated. And all she had to do was stop in once a week to glance over, make sure everything that was supposed to be done was getting done, and she was good to go. Everything that we implemented for her took her from bringing home $4,000 a month to now being able to make 12 grand, profiting 8 grand per employee. She now has 3 different employees. She's able to stack clients and bring home not overall revenue, but in her own pocket, her own profit, $8,000 per employee. When she started with us, she was making 4 grand total. We went through all of her systems. We recreated her offers. We streamlined and automated everything possible. And that is what happens. When you want to scale, everything needs to run smoothly. When you want to see as much income potential as possible within your business, it's not just about bringing in leads. It's not just about bringing in more clients. You have to have the foundations to actually support that bigger income goal. Otherwise, you're going to burn out before you even reach it.